Aloha, guys. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. It's time to get through the rest of the work week. And you know what that means? It's time for Sleuth Mom and me to have a little fun. Well, not really fun. Sometimes fun, yes, but sometimes just kind of updating ourselves, trying to get figure out what's going on with so many of the different cases that are going on. And I'm going to bring her up so we can say hi to all you guys at the same time. And here is Miss Sleuth. How you doing, my dear?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. Just got back from, I told you today's the anniversary of my dad's passing away. So
Mhm.
we went over to the cemetery. He's buried at Punch Bowl, which is in the middle of a volcanic crater. And it's where all the military stuff. It's gorgeous. It's a
Oh,
gorgeous
that's
place.
actually sounds really cool.
It
Like,
is. I need to do a video sometime, but it's actually back when Ellison Onizuka and the Challenger disaster. He's
mhm.
actually one of the astronauts. He's actually buried there. And
Okay.
right at Dad's feet is a Pearl Harbor unknown soldier. So the history is just amazing and all. So, but yeah, we got hump day. Hump day it is. So let's say hi to some people. I did not know you were live. I came home and I didn't even check to see if you were live. I missed it. A time.
It's probably for the best. I was pretty
Oh,
ranty.
uh
It was
oh.
one of
Okay.
those lives.
I know those lives. I know them so well. So I get into sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, no, don't say that. Yeah, say that. No, don't say that. Yeah.
You know what? And I
Uh,
started off the live and I was like, out of respect for Jameson, someday, whenever he grows up and sees this video, I'm going to do my best to control my tongue. And then by the end of it, I was,
all bets off.
uh,
All bets off. Exactly. Well, sometimes even in the cases that you care and you want to not do anything to upset things and all, they can upset you because it's still the case itself is frustrating and
mhm.
yeah. So, but let's see. We got Seal in the house. Seal was the first in. Hello, Miss Seal and Oscar. Who else we got? We got in the bushes. Lip locked. How you doing, my dear?
Hi, Susan.
And let's see who else. Annie. Hey, Annie.
Hi, Annie.
Rambling. I'm here and my hands are busy, so I won't be busy hands. That's the idea. Cooter is here. It did redirect you. I was so happy it redirected because yeah, I forgot to set that up for you. I just told Sleuth, I'm like, oops, sorry, oops. I love redirects when they work out. They are
Right?
so great. So Kathleen is in the house. And Miss I just saw Thea's in the house. By the way, Thea and Robbie are going to be doing I don't know how I feel about this, guys. They're going to be doing a Ouija board session in a haunted park. I'm not sure how I feel about that, Thea. I'm kind of back and forth.
That sounds
Just
terrifying, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah. I love haunted stuff, but Ouija boards scare me. They scare the heck.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah, I saw Annie sing about Echo. I'm like, oh shoot, what's going? Oh no, it was her. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, oh, Savage, how you doing, my dear? Hello. And am I missing anyone? Nope, there's click and go. You weren't. Oh my gosh, sorry. My fingers are burning, but I have to do this. She wasn't Randy. You sure she wasn't Randy, my dear? Uh huh. I love you
It's one of
so.
those things where, like, I have to get it out of my system before I come on your channels that I don't like, 'cause you all know that
It's
Corey makes
hard.
me feel the same way, right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
we're about to talk about, Cody Bigsby and Corey Bigsby and things like that during this live at some point, and so, I gotta go
All bets are
rant
off,
and rave.
girl. Yeah, rant and rave all you want because well, at least he's guilty now. So that was good. So it wasn't that bad, BC. Okay, I'll have to go back and check it. And we got click and go. Hello, my dear. Music City Mama with her good old, I love that font each time. Yeah, no Ouija boards for me. Okay, we got lots on the docket. Ouija session, Bloody Mary is the other thing I will not do. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Estes method with spirit pot. Ooh, that could be interesting. Yeah, I get scared when I go to her channel. So cool though. It is cool. So, and also, let's start this. We got a couple things that we thought we'd go through today. Sleuth and I've been talking back and forth. And yes, we have Corey's trial is finished and he was found guilty. Okay, yeah. Finally, at least justice for Cody. I mean, that's been so long in the waiting. And yes, have you seen the we are going to watch part of that Savage today. We are good, not the full thing, not the full 30 minutes, but we are going to watch bits and pieces of it. So stick together for all that. Talk a little bit about Alexa Bliss for those of you who've been following her over on this channel the last few days. That one's turning into heartbreaking. She was found, but it's still, and she's safe now, but it's been heartbreaking what we're hearing in that case.
Yeah.
But to start off with, we have a new case. You guys know both Sleuth and I are looking always for there's more than enough people out there for us to be able to share stories about and let their pictures get out. This gentleman went missing. Actually, the alerts. Okay, Sleuth, and I don't know. Have you heard about Kyrie yet?
I have not, no.
Okay. I just came across it myself, honestly. The person I was going to bring up was found. So I needed to find someone new. Not that hard, unfortunately, to find. But Kyrie actually, and I think that's how you pronounce his name from what I've been able to find, actually has been missing since the 6th of the month. So he's been gone for a while, but it officially was about a day ago is when they started asking for the public's help. So this is actually out of, okay, let me just pull here, Lowell Police Department. Okay.
Is that
I think
Massachusetts?
Boston. Yeah,
Okay.
Massachusetts. And I was like, wait, I thought it was Boston, but where does it say
Yeah.
that
Lowell,
here? So
that's yeah, that's
yeah.
Massachusetts.
And long story short, and we'll look at this real quickly, but he went for a walk with his dog, and both the dog and him have gone missing. Neither have been found since, which is scary because usually if something happens to the human, at least you might find the dog wandering around. Yeah. Um, Not in this case yet. Both are missing. So let's see, they put out the missing alert yesterday. He was last seen on the 6th. He's 5'9", average build, black hair, brown eyes. He was wearing a green jacket with jeans. So we can see the green jacket there in that picture. And then the dog you can see there. I think his grandmother actually realized his grandmother took a nap, and when she woke up, she knew he had gone for a walk, but did not realize it. All of a sudden it's like, wait, why isn't he back yet? So there have been concerns since then. Okay, getting the word out. I just noticed on a real quick search, and I'm going to just keep it here so we keep his picture up there. They have been alerting people within the lost pet community. Okay, because there's a chance. Okay, this dog is out there somewhere. It's not just the human. We've got two people. Okay, a person and a dog missing at the same time. Oh, okay, got it. So we will see what happens. I don't have a poster. Oh, perfect. I definitely will. Okay, so more information coming out about this. I'm going to do a little bit more research, try to find out. I think what is weird in this case, Sleuth, is the fact that both of them have completely gone missing since the 6th. So we're talking what, for 1 week now?
I was gonna say that's a long time for the puppy not to be seen. Like, if something would have happened to him, for example, if he got hurt or whatever, you would expect to find his dog wandering, and I mean, the dog's adorable. People are gonna notice it by itself, you know what I mean? And so I
Right.
think that's where it gets confusing because where did he potentially go? Could he have went somewhere with his dog and maybe didn't notify family? We've seen stuff like that happen
Yeah.
in the past. where people have left willingly to go to a different location and they potentially have their dogs or whatever with them. But obviously, the family typically is going to know their family member, and if they're saying that he is out there missing on his like not on his own accord, then we need to put in the
Something off.
efforts to share his information and help find him.
Yeah.
Um,
There's something off here. Yeah, with this. I did just find out, actually, I'm going to bring this up. The
he's
dog's
being
name
grayscale.
is Buddy. And so the dog's name is Buddy, and he's part Jack Russell, I think they're saying.
Oh, okay.
And but what's great to know, at least knowing the name, that's why I had to go research, because I was like, if you see this dog around the area,
Right.
then the first thing, yeah, call its name. Does it look? Things like that.
Mhm.
But it is weird that that dog is somewhere. Now, did the two of them go? They're not talking about any mental health concerns with him or anything like that.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that he left his car at home. So if he was just going to go missing on his own accord,
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he have taken his
right?
vehicle?
Exactly. Phone is turned off. He had his phone, I guess, but the phone is now turned off.
I hate to say
So,
this too because, like, I'm not really quite sure. I'd probably have to ask PJ a little bit more about Lowell. She grew up in this, area and stuff like that.
okay.
I'm curious, like, what the crime is like in that area because we've seen that before in cases where, people just assumed because it was an adult that they went missing or whatever, but then it ended
Mhm.
up being a robbery type situation or something along those lines. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's definitely
Right.
concerning.
Yeah, this is definitely, and it looks like at first, like they do with almost every other adult. Adult goes missing. Yeah, consider it. They have a right to leave. They have a right to run away. They have a right to do all those things. But then you hit a certain number of days after that. And then but unfortunately, we all know the first 48 hours are so important.
Right.
So, but
Looks
yeah, so we'll
like
see.
the
Mhm.
weather on that day was 30 degrees at nighttime, 41 degrees during the day. So,
Wow. And
not
he had
a
that jacket.
not a super warm day to be
No.
out for a very long time.
Yeah, that not at all whatsoever. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that right now. And hello to those of you. Princess came into the chat, and I think Roberta did also. Hey, hey guys. Um, so
No
snow,
snow.
no
No
snow.
snow.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
got it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I need to look into that a little bit more. I literally did it like 5 minutes before the live started, pretty much.
Sure.
So, but we also have the other case, and I actually saw this case. Was it last night? As soon as I saw you guys in chat, and thank you, Sleuth, for pulling up the article real quickly about it, about Riley Strain. Let me see. Oh yes, darling, no
Nashville,
dogs.
Tennessee.
Yeah, and out having a fun night out, and some things happened, and all. Second, let me make sure I got the right article. There we go. Okay, so let's see there. Okay, so University of Missouri, Riley Strain missing in Nashville. What to know about the search? So, search efforts are continuing into Wednesday for the University of Missouri student who disappeared during a visit to Nashville over the weekend. So, I think, is this
The
from what
video
you
up
know?
above is
It's
so the
pretty
video
good.
up above is oh, what is that? Hold on. The video up above, it does show him walking, I believe. Yes.
Okay,
It
let's
shows
go
him
through that.
walking and stuff like that. But what happened was he went to go visit his friends in Nashville and he left the bar essentially. The video shows him falling and hitting his head. His friends don't report him missing for 16
10
hours after
hours.
he walked off. And so they are it's just a mystery as to where he possibly
Where
could
he
have
went.
gone, basically. He does have a head injury of some sort, and then there is water not too far away, and so
Yes.
there is, that
This
concern as
was
well.
Had there been like, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember. I was reading part of this, and I think it was this case before I fell asleep last night. Um, had there been a little argument or issue at the bar, and he was asked to leave? Was that this case or
Yes.
another case? There was. Okay, got it. Let's watch this real quick. Okay, so we can let everyone see it. It would help.
Board based out of Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
I received a call last night around
Now,
9:30, 9:45
refresh.
p.m. Eastern Time.
Not doing. Okay.
Refresh. Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually going to just share that and refresh at the same time.
I was gonna say because the video was about him, but I think it might have changed
Oh,
for
it
you.
moved on to the other one. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I love the internet, and my dog is being very, very noisy right
Yeah,
now.
he was at a frat event according to a couple of sources. Right,
Yeah,
BC. Yeah, his parents. So there you go.
there we go. Okay, let me just do this. And here we go. There we go. Better. Police are searching for University of Missouri student
Mute that.
missing. Oh, mute it. Oh, yeah, music.
Copyright straight music.
Okay, yeah. Officials say, Riley, you got it. Okay, here's the picture, video, and
Right.
yeah, I hadn't seen this video yet today. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
that was gonna show him fall, but
it
they
might.
do have
Yeah,
one.
it's another one that does show
Mhm.
him. And yeah, I can't remember if it was last night or when I was looking for missing Monday something or something. I was looking at it, and it really, yeah, it scares you, especially with the water combined with if there was an issue. And I didn't even know about him falling and hitting his head at that time. That changes the picture completely, because once you've got a potential head injury, you've got not only behavior changes which can occur, but you've got health issues that can come into play with that, concussion, all those different things. The water definitely is. Seal is saying the video of home walking against the wall was sad. That's frustrating. We talk about this all the time, Sleuth. How when you're out with your friends, okay, girls watch their girlfriends, make sure
Mhm.
no one's giving them anything and drinks, things like that. They're behave well. For the guys, it's just as important. And if they went 16, he looked more drugged than drunk to you. Let me go back to that. Let's rewatch that. So let's go through. Okay, rewatching this so people can kind of see. He's handsome. Okay. Yeah, there he's kind of looking. You can see a little as he steps up the curb.
Trying to find the
Find the rest of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can go into another area that might have it too. Let me stop sharing that for a second. Let me go into this real quick. Yeah, no, it really. They were there. Does anyone know when they were planning to come back? Let me see here. So, just checking. Was he a freshman, Annie? Good question. Was he a freshman?
Let me show you guys this.
Oh, awesome.
So this is a map that Nerdy put up. It shows his last areas. And so at 1 or 9:40 p.m. he left the bar. He was seen on cameras at the escape game at 9:43. He falls on the video at 9:45. He was seen crossing near First Street, and then his last cell phone ping was 9:58. And so see why, and then the last video of him is right here. And see why I'm like super concerned because like look at
That's
this.
mm-hmm. And see, I remember that was one of the first things they were talking about was the bridge. And oh, okay,
Oh,
seal.
yeah.
Let me see what I can find. I'm typing seal in instead of Facebook. Really good. And oh my gosh.
Yeah, why was he twirling in the circle? Yeah, you watched an interview with his uncle, and they are thinking that he would have had his iWatch and phone data today. It almost sounded like this wasn't the last video that they have. I hope it's not. I hope they have something across that bridge away from the water. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, that'll make a bit. Yeah. Oh God, I hope so. Yes. Okay, here's some more that Seal just sent. Go.
He's like running.
Oh,
There's where he falls and hits his head. Yeah.
oh, yeah. With him running like that, did that car see, or is that a stop? Oh no, it's a stop. I was like, did they see him falling?
You have to wonder, like, I mean,
Hmm.
did he get something else other than alcohol?
Yeah. Was he drugged
Because,
up
like,
on
I
something?
mean, that's very trashed for 9:40 in the evening.
Yeah, that's extremely. But even his running there was pretty good until he took
Until out of nowhere, he just,
right.
yeah, fell.
And yeah, you wonder if he was dosed up with something.
Mhm.
I guess now it looks like they're doing some investigations into the bar itself.
Right.
And wow. Play that one more time while I look at this other show. It would help if I hit play. Or just something laced. Yeah, maybe something that, yeah, something is weird. And I'm trying to figure out, did he hit his head on that circular like trash can there? Or
Right.
because I don't see him kind of grab his head or anything. But that's what I'm trying to see is how is he reacting afterwards?
Right.
Interesting.
Here's
Interesting.
the interview with his parents.
Thank you.
It's in the back chat.
Awesome. Got it. And I'll share that one out. This is a nightmare for parents, so it really is. Oh, thank you, Siren. Siren and I are going to try to do something special for this weekend's karaoke stream. We're going to try to do cover a bunch of missing people as part of one of the songs. Hopefully I can do it. Okay, let's see. Allow. Come on.
Hi, B Tim.
B Tim's in the house. Hello, Tim. And okay, let's see what we got here.
It's going to be a really awesome commercial.
We begin with developing news we're following out of downtown Nashville tonight. The search for a visiting college student who hasn't been seen or heard from since Friday night. Thanks for being with us, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston. Take a look here. Police say Riley Strain was enjoying Lower Broadway with his fraternity brothers when he seemingly vanished. News Channel 5's Hunter Hoagland talked with Riley's family, who are understandably desperate for answers.
Through the hustle and bustle of busy Broadway, a Missouri family is in the middle of a mystery.
I just need to know where my son is.
Michelle Whited is heartbroken, going on night 3 without her son.
We talk every day, multiple times a day. And this is the longest I've ever gone without talking to him. It's devastating. I just want to find him and hug him.
Riley Strain, a senior at Mizzou, visited Nashville for a weekend getaway. Metro Police say the 22-year-old in town with fraternity brothers had been kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar on Friday night and never seen again.
The boys called and told us that Riley was missing.
Riley's parents, Michelle and Chris, made the 7-hour drive from Springfield, Missouri to search a loud and busy street for their son, all while trying to stay hopeful.
He's such a great kid. Such a great kid. He's supposed to graduate at Mizzou in May.
His family says they pinged
older.
Riley's phone from Life 360, showing his last known location was here at Public Square Park, only about half a mile away from Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway. Metro Police shared these photos with us. It is the last known image of the 22-year-old. with Riley standing at 6 foot 7 inches tall. His family hopes his face will stick out in a crowd of others.
If Riley is watching this tonight, what is one thing you guys just want him to know?
Oh God, bud, we love you so much. So much. And we're all looking for you. All of us.
Wow.
It's Hunter Hoagland reporting. Police say they are reviewing surveillance video from Lower Broadway, hoping they'll spot Riley and maybe see where he went. He's very tall. He stands 6'7". He has dirty brown hair and blue eyes. Like you, we want to get Riley home safely, so if you see him, please call police. All right.
Wow. Wow. And you know what? You hit it on the head right there, actually, BC. One of the first things, talk to your kids about if they're going out with friends, make sure one person stays sober. I mean, that is tall, and that actually should make it easier for people to remember seeing him around, I would think. Um, that is just, you can even see Dad barely, he's trying to hold it together for the rest of the family, too. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for any
This
updates
reminds
here,
me
too.
of that missing Navy gentleman that I covered a while ago. I'm trying to find his name. I was trying to
His name?
scroll back and see. I'm sure
Yeah,
BC knows exactly who I'm talking about.
BC
Sebastian, I
always
think,
knows.
maybe?
Another Sebastian.
Mhm.
And
His
so,
mom was, like, just as heartbreaking.
yeah.
Let me be the first to kick off your view saying, clearly his mom had something to do with this.
Oh, of
We'll
course. Of
just
course.
go
Can't you tell? I mean, can't you just tell that?
I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you see her body language throughout that?
Oh, I mean,
Obviously.
come on. She had to. I'm sure she. Okay, I'm gonna go
Sorry.
way down the wrong way there. It's like, yeah, got in the car, drove all the way down, and did all this other stuff because I'm sure
Yep.
that happened. Yeah, exactly. And are they? You know, Annie, that's one thing I was from the moment that and I really didn't go more deeper into it afterwards, but I had heard the part about Luke Bryan's, and then I had seen the bridge.
Mhm.
I don't know. Are they? Have
They
we
are.
heard anything about the?
Yeah.
Okay, they are.
They're
Okay, good.
searching everywhere. They're searching, they did search the riverbank to determine if he would have washed on shore or could have
Right.
fallen off, near the river after the surveillance video showed him there, so
Okay, got it, got it. So that's good. And yeah, that's a good point right now. We're coming up on St. Patty's Day. It's a great time to remind each other about.
No, his
I
name was
mean,
Seamus, wasn't it? It was something very, very Irish. Sorry.
Seamus would be Irish. That would be okay. Well, no, I would need a last name too to search that.
Noah.
So it was a fraternity convention he was at. Okay, got it. Yeah, I think it was something where I was looking at this and then I saw Alexa's case or something. I forget what it was, but I had seen it that night and I was like, oh gosh.
Seamus,
Especially after.
that's
Oh,
what
who was it?
it was.
Seamus?
Gray, yep. Seamus Gray. It was actually 11 months ago because he went missing on St. Patty's Day.
Oh, wow. So
BC
a
probably
year
said
ago
it's
almost.
mhm.
Oh, wow. Wow. So it's just, yeah, no, it's a good thing. And yeah, Cooter, you're right. Unfortunately, a lot of times as kids, we were all the same way. Okay, you can't do anything to pull us down. I mean, we're superhuman at that age, and we don't think quite on that level. And it doesn't take much for things to turn awry completely. So,
Right.
so we'll definitely, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one to see what's going on with both of these cases that are brand new. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to pull up and we can start because I know you were following this. Well, we both, from the beginning, we were following Cody's case. And we finally have justice in that case. Let me pull up the interview so we can go through this. But did you want to say anything? Because I know you were actually going to show the trial until they decided not to show the trial. Did you want to say anything about that before we get moving there?
About which part? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Say that
sorry,
again.
about Corey Bigsby.
I am so thankful that he was found guilty. I was really concerned after they threw out little brother's testimony. I don't know if you knew about that, but little brother or big brother actually testified about Cody, and they actually ended up impeaching his testimony because he was unsure about different details and things like that. But it was enough. The jury already heard it, and it was enough, and he was still found guilty. And so I was extremely happy. I worked all day yesterday, and so I couldn't go live, and I was super bummed out. So
That's why I wanted you to be able to have the first say on that, because I know you had planned on doing and you just got really busy
yes.
yesterday. So, yeah, that was such awesome news, especially with so many. I think last week we talked about, no, 2 weeks ago, and how worried we were that with all the things that happened, okay, with the police department and stuff like that, with that hold back and keep justice from happening. But nope,
I
it
honestly
happened.
think, like, so listening to his whole interview, and we're not going to do that tonight because of time constraints and things
Right,
like that. Um, Probably something that we'll do eventually over on Sleuth
right.
Mom. But we watching his entire interview, it really seems like he's gonna end up trying to sue his lawyers, which is hilarious to me because his lawyers are who is gonna push the civil rights lawsuits and everything else. And so it
Exactly.
sounds like he's pointing all of the blame on
Yep.
my lawyers didn't do enough for me. They didn't communicate properly. They didn't present this during trial. They didn't present that during trial. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, sir, you could have got on the stand and testified to make sure all
Any
of
of
these
this.
details went out there. Yeah. And so
Exactly.
I can tell he's already planning that appeal where he's gonna be, like, saying inefficient counsel or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other thing that comes out during this, and I forgot to timestamp so that I could tell you where it was, but during this interview, he also says that his sister lied on the stand and said that he was in DC and seen her in DC or whatever. He's like, "I ain't never seen her in DC." And so he
Oh,
even throws his own family under the
family
bus
member.
for lying for him.
Yeah.
So, it's just
He, throughout this whole thing, I mean, I was trying to get two different timestamps at the beginning of this. So I was trying to go back and forth, and everything is everyone else's fault. And his behavior is totally normal. It's like there's a certain part we're gonna watch where he's talking about how everyone who has kids leaves their kids at 10 o'clock to go shopping in the middle of the night without a babysitter. I mean, come on, that's normal.
right?
And oh my gosh. And this is not the end. He's going to try over and over and over to get everything overturned.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, the more I see him, the more I'm like, narcissist, maybe, just
Yeah,
perhaps. But yeah, it's, oh gosh. But yeah, not even had to be the brother's testimony stuck with the yeah, I think that really stuck with everything there. And you
agreed.
know what? Yeah, they may say no, something can't be done or something, like, people have it in the back of their heart. Okay, and it's hard. So, yeah, the amount of people that supported him, still, I
It's
will. Oh,
crazy to me. You know what, though? What it comes down to is they are so with this, and I'm just gonna say it. I apologize because I probably shouldn't have, but
it's fine.
it became such a Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
movement about his civil right violations and things like
Yep.
that, that people forgot the fact that Cody Bigsby, guess what, is also Black and also has rights that needed advocated
Mhm.
for and is a missing child. But people were so caught up
Yep.
in advocating for how his rights were
Oh,
violated and
oh,
get down with the police and stuff like that,
mhm.
that they forgot about Cody
The
in the
rights of
mixture
this
of
little
all of
boy.
this. Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. And I think also for family, I've said this, if you remember back when we started covering the case. I mean, my Instagram went nuts with family members really attacking and like, no, 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 he's good. He's all this other stuff. And I did just make the comment about a narcissist.
Right?
And he was manipulating his family from the get go.
Agreed.
And then that manipulation, yeah, he's manipulating anyone and everyone he can get his hands
You know
on.
what
And
cracks me up though about this interview, is the fact that he calls them out on the lies that they did for him on the stand. Guess what? If this does go to an appeal and they try to overturn the conviction or whatever, they now have his statements about his sister lying that now she could no longer
She's in
testify for him.
Yep.
And right, and could she get in trouble for perjury? Oh my gosh,
Big
that
time.
would be interesting to see
Yeah.
her get charged with perjury. My question is, does his family know where Cody potentially is? Because where he
Oh
allegedly
gosh.
buried them is not too far from where they live. And so I've always questioned, like, once we
Whether
seen
they
that
know.
address that he put, did
Yeah.
he take Cody towards them? Did they help him?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. And if he goes turning, yeah, he turns against them, especially if she ends up with a lawsuit again, gets charged or something like that.
Mhm.
And then families start turning, could get very interesting very quickly.
Yep.
He's been found guilty, but it's only going to make everything impossible to get anything overturned. Not that, hopefully, it won't anyhow.
Right.
And also, so let's go. I've got two timestamps that I thought we'd go from. The first one is him talking about the confessions he wrote, and the second is actually about the child neglect charges.
Okay.
So we're not like Sleuth is saying, we're not going to watch the whole thing. That'll come later on when we can over on Sleuth just watch the whole a whole interview at one time. So let's. Oh, Seal, you were so quick. Look, only Nightbot interrupted in between your time. You were so quick, girl. And also, okay, let's see. Where are we? And
She probably had to go feed and water Pete real quick. She
Oh,
keeps him
yes.
outside.
Gotta keep him nice and happy, talk him up and all that. Yeah, exactly.
I was not getting the proper answers. I said, look, whatever I got to do to get out of here. So they kept telling me, write a confession letter then. And I kept telling them I'm not confessing to anything because there's nothing to confess to. So I said, okay, I'll write a letter. So when I wrote the letter, right, the letters was supposed to be about me coming in the house and my son being unconscious and me not knowing that he was unconscious, like it was an accident. Then all of a sudden it went from...
I'm sorry. I got to stop that already. I'm sorry. This is going to be problematic for me because I'm going to, yeah. If you really break down his language through there, he's already kind of giving you this idea that he's telling a story. Okay, yeah, this confession, it wasn't about the truth. It's about how this happened and all this. It sounds from the get-go he's seeing his whole confession as a story that he's putting together. And
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
No, you're exactly right. And like, honestly, it's his body language and his attitude. Like, he asked this reporter to come to him to interview him. Like, she even mentions that he requested them to be there at some point. And like, just how, like, I don't even know the word that I'm like trying to think. Like, but he just comes across so rude the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me, like, how assertive and aggressive he gets throughout the entire thing, just describing all these different events. I don't know.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's frustrating, and that's why I'm kind of happy we're not watching the whole thing because it would take me 3 hours to play 30 minutes. But
them telling me to write that because they were telling me what to write through the intercoms. They were telling me what to
Through
write
the
down on the paper, and I was telling them I wasn't going to
exactly.
write it. It went from that to them telling me specifically to write certain things that I wrote in the one letter that was X'd out. It was written, yes, it was written in crayon and it was X'd out. I never turned that into anybody. They so-called said that they came in my room to do a search because I was on suicide watch, right? If I'm on suicide watch and you come to my room to do an inspection, right? What would make you flip through every page and read it? If anything, you would just shake that to see if I had any weapons or anything in there to try to present any type of harm to myself, which I never did.
So, if you're on suicide watch, you wouldn't read what a person is writing to make sure they're not writing any farewell letters to family or how they're going to unalive themselves. Or, I mean, that's usually writing is where that type of thing is going to pop up. So it makes
Right.
complete sense to people.
No, and I agree with that. But not only that, but he's just upset that they found it.
Yeah.
Honest to goodness, because I still believe that was the truest confession. I still don't think that was all of it,
No,
right?
no.
But what he said and the things that he wrote, I do believe happened. All the way down to him wiping his poop on Cody. Why would you write something like that if it wasn't true, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gross. I don't know.
Well, you look at the whole thing, and we've always said, how would someone do something like wiping poop on Cody and all that stuff? Look at this guy's behavior in here, and you can
Mhm.
start to believe what it is that we've been hearing all this time. Look
Right.
at how he sees other human beings. They're not humans. Okay, they're people to be used for whatever purpose he wants to use them.
Right.
So, yeah, and the Bushes, sir, your other kids were in the hospital for over a month. They will have long-term medical conditions for the yep, and that's it. Like with Gianna. Okay, Gianna's Hanai brother was in the hospital. Will have lifelong complications because these people don't realize just what they are doing to these kids when they do what they do. So, sorry. Okay.
They even said that in court. I never told anybody that I was going to kill myself, so why am I on suicide watch? Then they said I was put over there because I did this. If a CO is walking past, how I'm going to get their attention? Hey, CO, can I talk to you real quick? Is that something to be on suicide watch for? It don't make sense, do it?
You wrote some pretty graphic details. A lot of people say, how could he have written those graphic details if it wasn't?
You could tell that was trash details because for one, I never said, for one, you don't even have a body, right? So how I'm gonna give you a building number and all of this stuff where you can find my son at and then you don't find him there? That's trash. So you already know that was definitely something that was made up. Okay, then secondly, I killed my son, then I went to Busch Gardens, I did this, I went to the store, I went to take a boo-boo, all this stuff. Come on now, that don't even sound right.
So you wrote the letters to basically appease the officers to
get me out of there and take me over to the mental health ward.
Right there.
So that I could be treated.
Right there, yes. You
So-
go for it. You're gonna say what
So
yeah.
he's like all upset because they had him on suicide watch, but then he's saying flat out that he did this to be in the mental health ward. We also seen his lawyer try to advocate for him multiple different times about the fact that he was being treated so wrongly in this prison and his mental health was suffering because of it and blah blah blah, all the garbage. So
All he does is manipulate people throughout this whole thing. You can see what he was doing to people while he was in jail at those times. Okay, he would do and say whatever he needed to do or say to get into that mental health ward where he, for whatever reason it is, but yeah, he just right there came straight out and totally against what he was saying earlier. I mean, full of lies, full of, yeah.
Yep.
So, let me see. I think we're getting near the end of this time stamp area. Then we'll move over.
Treated properly because over on the mental health ward, they have free.
I want special
They
treatment.
have free access to roam around, to watch TV, to eat, to exercise, all that kind of stuff. They don't go through all the things that we go through over there. But I never tried to commit suicide or told anybody that I was suicidal.
So I don't have mental health problems. I'm not having any issues with. I just want to have extra nice treatment.
Right.
And I don't think he gave his kids that extra nice treatment or anything like that. Ever. Yeah, exactly. And so I want to leave enough of this because I do know we're going to go through. I would think would get you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. Plus, if you can prove he's crazy, then his testimony. He did. Yeah. It's. Yeah. Okay. Let me.
Well,
see.
and
So
this goes back to during court, one of the things that the lawyers had talked about for him, and we heard Nancy Strickland, We Are Cody's voice, mention that during her interview that we watched on my channel with Rhoda Young Live.
Right.
And one of the things she mentioned was she didn't understand why the guards did not get him mental health help whenever he told them that he had wires coming out of his brains and that he was hearing voices telling him to write these letters. Now, as you see him in this interview,
Mhm.
it's very clear that the things that
One.
he was doing were to placate the officers and try to get into that mental health facility.
Exactly. Exactly. He's right up there with Letitia when it
Yep,
comes to trying to figure out how to manipulate everyone to get the treatment you
absolutely.
want.
She has another
Yeah.
lawsuit she's filing against the
Yes.
current prison, by the way. I don't know if you've
I
seen that over on
c-
Alex Erickson.
yes, I did. I was like, "Oh my god." I just swear these people, oh gosh.
Never
So,
stops.
yep. Nope, it never does. So, let me go on to let's see, 1649. So, we're moving on to where he's talking about the child neglect, okay, side of things. So let's see. It's right about there. That works. Oh, there you go. Good picture. So he's talking. Yeah. Okay, come on. I gotta have a better, but there, that works. And also, anyhow, so this is when they're talking to him about the child neglect charges. This is when, oh my gosh, you thought last was interesting. This is crazy.
I gave them that stuff. They didn't ask me for that.
So what was your reaction? They arrested you first on the child neglect charges.
They didn't arrest me on no child neglect charges because the child neglect charges was too. And I'm saying that on camera, excuse my language, but that was too because it was me telling them that I do not have a babysitter. So sometimes at night when my kids are asleep, I lock the door and I'll go to Food Lion and get them something to eat for the next morning. I'm pretty sure everybody in America, if their kids are asleep at night, you don't have a babysitter, it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, you're not calling nobody to come over there. You're not waking no kids up so you can go to the store and get something that they need. If it's 15 minutes away, you're gonna take your behind around the corner and go get it and come back and make sure your kids got what they got.
I know. I'm sitting here. I'm like, pause is coming up here either now or right after the next couple sentences.
I can
Go for it.
honest to God say that being a person who has multiple kids, who
Kids.
hates taking my children to the store with me, it terrifies me. I don't like doing it without my husband
Yep.
just because of the world, the way that it is. Leaving them home alone, I would have a nervous freaking breakdown. There's no way. Do you know how many things that could happen to your house
Yeah.
while your children are home alone? You could have a fire, like BC said. There could be a tornado. There could be,
Yeah.
I don't know, the mine under my house could collapse. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. My dog could get loose, and then something catastrophic could
Mhm.
happen there. They could open
Yeah.
the front door and walk out. Like, there's so many different things. You can't leave your kids alone. And so for
No.
him to be like, everybody in the world does this. What?
I don't. And what's crazy is the next step here. He's literally going to try to prove his point by asking the journalist and the camera person to reiterate, "Oh, yes, sir. That's exactly
Yeah,
what
we
I
do
do."
it too. We do it too. Like,
Okay.
no
Yeah,
way.
exactly. I'm like, what? And you don't ever leave because, yeah, like you say,
Could you picture him in the police station being like, "Listen, officers, I know you all do this too." And then they're booking him, like, right off the bat, he's telling them this, like, it's no big deal that he's leaving a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old. Like, what are you doing, sir? Or no, what was
I'm
it? A 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and 2
two.
2-year-olds?
Yeah, I think it was two.
I
And I mean, one of them falls, okay, tries to climb out of there if they're in a crib at the time, okay, falls, hit themselves. Someone wakes up in the middle of the night and, okay, a kid wakes up in the middle of the night and can't find mom or dad in the house. You are
could you yeah.
seriously hurting your child's mental health at that point. And oh my
There's
God.
no way. Like, my bedroom door sees into my kids' bedroom doors, and, like, that's just it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm constantly worried. I'm a light sleeper, you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
that's just who I am as a person, though, because I follow true crime, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I'm hyper vigilant to everything that goes on. I think I was talking to BC the one night, because I heard a gunshot, and I live in the middle of nowhere, and so a gunshot's not really that big of
Oh,
a deal, but at
oh,
the same
okay.
time, I'm like, well, because like, I'm in the sticks, right? And so we have a lot of country folk that just, discharge weapons and things like that. But then the whole time I'm like paranoid, like, should I call the cops? Did my neighbor just get murdered? What's going on right
Yeah,
now?
exactly.
Like, I'm gonna be the
Well,
person who the next morning, like, the police are
Who
gonna
was
show up
it?
and knock and let me know that, Susie Q next door is deceased and I never called the police and I'm gonna be that idiot that heard it and never called. And like stuff
Yeah,
like that just goes through my mind all the time. But never
yeah.
would I ever leave my kids
My
alone.
children.
Never.
No, no. Hell, I don't have kids. But even when I leave my dogs, you should see me go around the house and verify that everything is safe in the
We
house with
have
the freaking
cameras that
dogs.
we watch our dogs
Yes,
whenever we leave. We
Verbo.
do. That
Yes,
you can
I
talk
got my
through 'em?
Verbo.
Can you talk
Yep.
through it? Yep.
Yep, I can talk. I can shoot out
Us
treats
too.
if they
Us
want
too.
treats.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah,
So
no,
he's
in the
leaving his
bushes. Exactly.
full-blown children.
No. It's like, no, I don't neglect my kids. I just leave them at home all the time at that age. I mean, there's already enough. I remember my parents trying to figure out what was the right age to leave my brother
Yeah.
and I alone. And it was
Well, and in
close to
some
double
states, it's not
digits.
clear, right? Some states,
Right.
it's not clear what the age of
No.
babysitting is and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It really does depend on the maturity level of your
Hmm.
child. Like, I was
Exactly.
babysitting my neighbor's kids whenever I was 11, 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
It's
but
10.
it's just not the same. We don't live in the same world that we used
Nope.
to.
Nope.
We really just don't.
Yeah. And the age of those kids, that's also the difference too.
Right.
I mean, when you're talking about a 2-year-old or something like that, even if you have a 5 or 6-year-old, they can't take care of a 2-year-old.
Right.
Okay. They wouldn't know what to do. Yes, I was babysitting at age 10. I lived on a military base and they needed babysitters like crazy. I was babysitting 10 years old on up.
Right.
But I was also one of those very, very boring children
Mature.
who always behaved. Yeah, I was very mature.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is just his thought. Yeah, seal. Yeah, okay. And I love the fact that he's like, well, they had no food, so I had to go get food for them the night
Well,
before.
but so what kills me though is so if you look up the hours of operation for the food line, I guarantee you at 11 o'clock at night in 2021 they were closed. Because think about what 2021
Oh
was
no,
for a lot of these
true.
of these supermarket chains and things like that. A lot of them
It's true.
stopped their overnights and started closing because of COVID.
That is true.
And
That is
so
true.
if he was leaving them alone, it had to have been much earlier in the night. Not that it would justify things, but
No,
I would say probably closer to 9, right? In
yeah,
reality. Then and not that that changes
no,
things
but
very
still,
much, but they
yeah.
definitely weren't sound asleep.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I used to, there were times when I lived closer to town and everything, I'd be coming home from a show in the middle of the night,
Mhm.
and you'd have people with their kids in the
Right.
grocery store at 1, 2 in the morning. But you know what? At least those kids were safe because I would think at first I was like, who takes their kids out at that time of night? Then all of a sudden I started thinking, you know what? If they don't take them out, this may be the only time they have the capability of doing it.
Right.
And at least the kids are safe.
Right.
Okay, like you said, what if a fire happens? Okay, so many different things that could occur at that time. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
oh, this one drove me crazy. I can't remember how long this one
Morning, as long as that door's locked and they sleep, they not waking up. Not in no
How do you
15,
know?
20 minutes.
How do you respond?
Okay, not for 10, 15, 20 minutes, he said. And yet a few minutes ago, he said only takes him 15 minutes to get there. So 15 minutes to get there, 15 minutes to get back, and then the shopping time. So he's a load of crap.
Respond to that, the FBI.
I told them that, and then they started charging me with that. You can't charge somebody with something that I told you about. That's me confessing. So what you're doing.
Okay, that's good to know. All I have to do is have a crime. I can do whatever I want to, and as long as I tell
you
the cops
confess.
first.
Right.
Yep, that's
The
it.
police
That's
are
it.
not Jesus, right? Jesus will forgive and forget your sins if you confess them. 100%. The
Oh
police,
my
not so
gosh.
much. Not so
No,
much.
no. It's like, guess what, Mr. Police Officer? I killed so and so, but okay, I'm sorry for doing it now, but you can't do anything about it because I told you.
Oh,
What
man.
planet does he live in?
That explains, guys, why we haven't seen so and so in the chat in a while.
Ooh.
Look at my offdom.
I didn't mean to say that, did I? No, I did not. Let's back up, okay?
I know, I'm sure all the drug dealers would love to know that information. I agree, BC.
I know, yeah, true, BC. Oh my God, when I heard that the first time, I was like, oh my God. So, okay.
Is you're setting me up because you don't have nothing to charge me with. So now you're charging me on something that I was honest about.
How do you answer for the FBI forensic examiner who said there were no original photos?
Okay, I'm gonna let anything on further on that. I know, Sleuth, you want to go through that whole live,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to go through that because that's gonna be great. So, but this guy is
He's a
Looney
trip, man.
Tunes.
He just has, like, all the audacity, like, and then the last, like, 3 to 5 minutes of that, like, he honestly gets so irate, it's just really ridiculous.
Yeah. You could see him slowly losing control of
Mhm.
his control.
Well, you know what it is?
Okay.
He's used to people like Rhoda trying to interview him, people that are on his side, and then here comes this reporter who
Yeah.
just had no patience for him, really, and she just didn't give him even an inch of sympathy that he was hoping for. And that's all he's really been seeing for the last, 2 years because he has so many supporters out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, yeah, he is very, very much so Music City, arrogant, arrogant SOB, totally Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, so yeah, it's at least we got the justice for Cody. That was one of the cases. It's been taking so long. I am like, come on, it's time. Along with this one, there's certain ones that are just taking way too long for us to get any level. I mean, Monkey also needs justice of some level at some point.
Right.
He's another one in the back of my head that deserves, his whole family deserves to know what's going on
Yeah.
and to be able to, yeah.
I honestly thought whenever they dismissed his charges and they said that it would be a couple months, I can't believe that it's been this long and we still haven't seen an update as far as charges go for his case. It's
Yeah.
honestly extremely disappointing.
You
And I
know,
know that they're
it's, yeah.
trying to make sure that whenever they bring the charges, that they
Right.
have it and they can sign, seal, deliver that guilty verdict, right? They don't want to
Exactly.
put them through a Barry Morphew situation where you have to let them
Mhm.
back out. But it's still, it hurts for, I'm sure, his family.
Right. At some point, when does something become too long? Yes, you got to get all your I's dotted, your T's crossed, things like that, because, yeah, we don't want someone getting off because something was not done correctly. But at what point do people start forgetting and the time becomes just another reason to forget more? Oakley. Yeah, there's some cases out there, okay, that are really, wait, yeah, anyhow, never mind. Sorry, my mind's going somewhere else right now. And all, but yeah, no, right now, I mean, Ariel, I need to keep an eye out on Gianna's because they're supposedly saying April we're going to have a trial. There's no way that's going to happen, but no one's pushing for that to be extended yet. And I'm wondering,
They will.
yeah, it's only a matter of time. So,
100% they will. I mean, look,
in
we
the
thought the
state,
Kaluas were gonna be done, and look, here we are.
it's nuts. It's crazy. It is just ridiculous. And don't get me started on that. Okay. Anyhow,
I actually ranted about that during my
did you?
Harmony video a little bit earlier because here we are again.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna briefly touch on it. I'm not
Go
gonna
for
go
it.
into
Go for it.
details,
Yeah.
but
No,
I
go for
said
it.
I brought up the fact that, it's not Harmony's case, the failures that happened is not just Massachusetts. It's not just New Hampshire. It's everywhere in this country.
Yes.
Countrywide. And I brought up the fact that once again, here we are in Hawaii. They are trying to make provisions to protect the children and have some type of follow-up initiative. And honestly, once again, it's already got an army coming up against it.
Yep. And
And
I'm
it's
frustrated with that.
heartbreaking.
Yep. I told you the other day how I am really frustrated on that right now. I mean, we
Yeah.
have to put children first. When are we going to finally say, you know what? A child's rights are more important than anything
Why
else.
is there no amendment? People wanna sit there and be like, "Oh, Fourth Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fourth Amendment." Why is there no amendment that gives a child the same amount of rights that an adult has? When do children just become an adult's property and have no say in how their
Mhm.
life is, and nobody has a say for that child?
Yeah. And that is so dated. That thought process is so dated. Go back to the days where a child is supposed to be seen and not heard. Okay, you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to do this. You're not all those things back then. Your child was just another animal on your farm, pretty much. Okay, maybe not quite that way, but yeah, you know where I'm going with that. But this is just a child deserves to be safe no matter where they are, whether they are in the system or not. We have children lose their lives who are not in the system. Okay, it's not just the system that needs to be fixed. We need to ensure all our children are safe, whether they're adopted, foster, biological, or anything, because we lose children all across the board.
Right.
And also,
Yep.
yeah, and that could be another subject for one of our lives for sure. And all, but yeah, no. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, okay. We're right at 1 hour, so we're not going to take this too long, but I did want to give everyone a quick update on, by the way, Seal just said a good thing right there. They are little people. We as parents and guardians should guide it. Yeah, they're people. The key word there is people.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't,
don't say
yeah,
little because
yeah.
Junior would be like, "I'm not little."
He's so cute. We had so much fun on the phone the other day. I kept getting voice messages back, and oh my gosh, I loved every one of them. They were so cute. But Alexa, I don't know. You were following Alexa? I know you've had a lot going on, but you got to follow
Yes.
Alexa a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not gonna small might, because that's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? So um I'm not going to pull up her poster again, but I did want to, because she has been found. And I feel at a certain point, we need to give these children, especially when they're found safe, some level of protection for the future, because it's bad enough no matter what. When she types her name in the computer as she gets older, which I think every one of us have done, what just happened over the last couple days is what's going to pop up for her, which makes it hard to grow up and become who you're supposed to be in life. But I did want to share with people, she was found. I am going to real quick. Yeah, we'll go ahead and share the Facebook. So all of the stuff I'm sharing right now is coming straight from the police departments. And I know a lot of people really, they do care about what happened, because we want to be able to pray for the kids also when they've had a rough time. So yesterday she was found, and the police department did let everyone know that she'd been found safe. The child was located in Warrior. Now, Warrior, I did look at it, is 25 miles away. So fairly near, 30 minutes or so difference. They did arrest someone. This is someone that looks like someone she knew. And there are multitude of charges for this person. And all I'm going to say, guys, you can go to Blountesville and read the whole thing. However, I can tell you, please, please, please keep her and her whole family in your thoughts and in your prayers. Because that's what she needs moving forward. But she's at home with her mom and other family members who can hold her safely and make sure she feels safe moving forward. So I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts or on this case?
I'm just thankful that she is alive, because so many of these cases that have this same type of thing happening lately, the predator, unalives them. And
Right,
so I'm
right.
very thankful that they were able to find her alive. Um, it's extremely upsetting, and she definitely needs prayers for her overcoming the things that she went through, and for her recovery.
Yeah. And they do have a more detailed, if you go to Blountesville's PD, and I'm just trying to be respectful to her at this point by
Right,
not going into the details of
right.
it. But you can go just look for Blountesville Police Department. They also did have a great, yeah, BC has been great in giving information and updating us also on this case. And everyone, as the police said, okay, everyone's presumed innocent until proven guilty. And we always have to remind that even when we don't like someone and feel pretty damn sure about something. But they did also have a press conference today, 3 hours ago. It was only a minute and a half, saying thank you to everyone who tried to get the word out and tried to help in finding her. So Mal's here. Hey, Mal. Just got home from work. Oh my
Hi,
gosh, that's
Mallory.
late. That's a late day, girl. And I saw a question for the Music City Mom. Do you think kids should have TikTok? On Inside Edition, they were showing all of these kids making TikTok videos saying not to ban TikTok. Oh boy. That could be a whole live on its own, couldn't that?
I think that, um I think that I probably have one of the least popular opinions about stuff like this, because I don't think that children should have access to any type of social media until they are, able to pay for their own phone bill and have their own everything, because that
Right.
dictates a certain level of responsibility that they need to have. Um, we do have like Messenger Kids where I can monitor who we add and things like that. And I can see the conversations, like all of the things.
Right.
But outside of that, no, no to social media in general.
Right.
Um, not just TikTok. Like TikTok itself is it's a rabbit hole,
Another thing.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't even agree with YouTube for kids, just to be honest, because even
Right.
YouTube for kids, even
It's
the
not
filtered app itself, there's still so many things
right.
that, like, for example, they have Peppa Pig on YouTube for kids that is
Yeah.
adult version Peppa Pig that gets slipped
Jeez.
in there. You know what I mean? And so
Wow.
you have to be extremely careful, but we
Right.
don't,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't do.
Well, and this is, yeah, it's a hard one. I know. Last week I think it was Amy and I did a live, and we probably should do another one and get a bunch of us up on panel to talk about it. Um, because she herself, I don't have kids, so it's easy for me to say one thing or another. I don't have to deal with the repercussions of kids being mad, or how do you deal with this, or how do you deal. I can have all the wonderful ideas in my head. And but I think especially TikTok and all, first of all, I don't think there's one set age, because
Right.
again, it's the thing, kids are different.
Yeah, maturity
I was a
levels.
yeah, I
Mm.
was a totally different kid than my brother was. And also I think that's very important. But I think right now, especially TikTok, that's, and I could see that with YouTube, because they have their filters, but filters are pretty easy to get through. You just put the right word in there and things happen. Um, but yeah, no, exactly. That could be a whole nother subject that we need to have another discussion
But see, and
about.
that's one of those things too. So like, you know your kid's maturity level and things like that, and you know if
Yeah,
they are able to handle
yeah,
access to those type of things or not.
yeah,
I know based off of my child, like he is very much so wants to do what everyone is doing,
yeah,
right? He still has not developed um his own sense in life, because he adapts in every situation. He
right.
always is like the person who can walk into any room and make friends with absolutely everybody, because he's like a chameleon. With that being
Yes.
said, sometimes he adapts in the wrong ways to fit in.
Yep.
And so I worry about peer pressure and stuff like that for him. So I do protect him a little bit more. I also know that he is one of those kids that I would worry about would fall in love with some creeper
Mm-hmm.
because he likes the attention. You know what I mean? And so then you got to worry about
Exactly.
that whole thing. We have so many teenagers being lured out by 28, 30, 40-year-old men all the time. It's
Yes.
disgusting.
Oh, yes. And that right now, all this stuff on TikTok has honestly, the discussion about TikTok and banning it has nothing really to do about kids and their age and is it the right place for them and things like that. That has to deal with a whole different issue. Okay. That's more international. Okay. That's the whole thought process behind there. But I think it's something that we do need to look at. Okay. And parents talk and realize each parent's going to have a different set of rules.
Right.
Okay. And you have, hopefully, they're making the rules that are specific for that child.
Well, and I think too, it's hard to say one specific app is bad. Each
Yes.
app has its own things that are pluses and minuses, and any app has the potential to be used by a predator. And so
Right.
you can't be like, oh, well, I don't use TikTok, but I let my kids use Snapchat or even YouTube, or I'm sorry, Messenger Kids or whatever, you know what I mean? Like there is no quote unquote safe app at the end of the day. It's just
Mm-mm.
about your own parenting, your own kids' maturity levels, and monitoring what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find the website that I was sharing out to people that day because I don't have it down here. But if you go to that live that I did, it's still the same exact website that when we talked about internet safety last time, it's still there. And it is amazing at helping you understand how to try to make it. You're never going to make an app or a website safe. Kids find workarounds. They're always going to find workarounds. But even like what I noticed this time, your Wi-Fi, your router is now an area that you need to look at. Okay, clamping down on to provide safety. There are ways you can look at your router and put in what is allowed and what is not. And also it's really, yeah, that I think that's the key right there. Don't use social media as a babysitter. Okay. In fact, if anything, if they have social media, they probably need a little bit more oversight.
I was thinking to myself just now whenever I read that, I was like, maybe if Corey Bixby would have at least given
God.
them some social media apps to monitor while he left them
Exactly.
alone.
There you go. Yeah, just do that. At least they could have gotten
Just
on
put
and
them
said,
on
"Oh, I got
TikTok,
a
at least
fire
then
in the
we
house."
know
Yeah,
that.
they could do a video. I have a fire in my house right now. My dad's not here. What do I do?
Snapchat a video, right?
Yeah,
Something. I don't
exactly. So,
sorry, that's not right. I shouldn't.
nope. I know. Hey, sometimes the dark senses of humor are the only thing that are going to get us through all this bull crap and all. So, but anyhow, we have hit about an hour 12. You have any other thoughts or cases you wanted to mention or anything before we finish up for the
I
night?
don't. I think we're
You did.
good. I
Mhm.
think if I travel down the thought lane too much further, we gonna get goofy because it's 11:15 here.
I know. Thank you guys so much for doing this hour difference. I hate time zones. Hopefully, they'll get rid of daylight savings time sometime during my lifetime. It'd be nice.
No,
So,
hurry up. Hurry up, click end before we hear what malicious intent needs to say.
okay, we're going.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're
Wait, what?
out.
We talked about
Oh,
Riley's
now,
train at the
yes.
beginning. Yes.
Yes. And yeah, go back to that. We definitely did talk about that. And yeah, this is really going to be in. Yeah. So anyhow, I will talk to all of y'all later. Aloha. Bye.